ladies and gents, we're back. We got a tactic today called the 4-2-3-1 Home Asymmetric RDF. I do not know what RDF stands for. It is from someone called Mr. Wowbagger. And I'm going to assume this is one of those that we find on the Steam Workshop where the person created it, published it to the Steam Workshop, and really didn't think much about who would be using it, who would be testing it, asking people to test it, or anything like that. I'm assuming they just published it to the Steam Workshop just because, or because they weren't thinking about it, and that's what happened. There's no description, there's no picture, there's no information there whatsoever. Clearly, what I always say is if you want people to test your tactics, definitely put something in there. What do you do with your formation? Do you change it during matches? Do you do shouts during matches? Do you change it for home versus away matches, or hard, versus easy matches? But the reason I'm doing this one is because it's asymmetric, and for the longest time I've been saying asymmetric tactics do really well in FM23. Last few haven't done all that well, so it's kind of kicking me in the pants. But right now we're going to take a look at this and see how it goes. You can see it is a goalkeeper in defend, wing backs on the left and right in support, ball playing defenders in defend, a roaming playmaker in support next to a ball winning midfielder in defend, inside forward in attack, inverted winger in attack on the right, advanced playmaker in attack somewhat centrally, and then above them in the striker position, pressing forward this time around in support. Balanced mentality, so we'll see how that works. Attacking with a fairly narrow approach play is pass into space. Passing directness is shorter. Tempo is slightly higher. Low crosses run at defense. In transition, counter press, counter, distribute quickly and roll it out. And out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a standard defensive line. Trigger press much more often, prevent goalkeeper distribution, and get stuck in. Now, how did it do for our three teams? Well, as you can see, it actually didn't do too badly. Tottenham was 74 points, definitely above their average in Champions League spots in third. Newcastle in 6th with 63 points, probably around average thereabouts. Wolves in 12th with 49, I would say below average. They can be anywhere from high 40s to low to mid 50s, but I would say 49 to me is, at least from what I've seen, below average. And Chelsea in 14th with 48 points. Even with Conference League spot, that hurts. Tottenham's schedule starts out really nicely. The first 2 months, only 2 draws, you're negative there, and then a first loss against Liverpool. But man, that run, 1 loss the entire first half of the season is insane. And that includes Champions League. So all in all, a fantastic job. Carabao Cup quarterfinal, you do lose out to Chelsea, funny enough. But you continue on in the Champions League. Round of 16 is where you lose it to Bayern, 1-4 away from home. A 4-all draw at home. That is insane. But FA Cup is where it's at. Leicester kicking the crap out of them at Wembley, 6-1 to win a cup. A fantastic cup too. Newcastle definitely starting out a lot spottier. I mean, they've got some green in there, which is not too bad. Carabao Cup, they're continuing on in FA Cup as well. Up until FA Cup, 4th round against Chelsea, 1-2 loss at home right there. Carabao Cup, you do lose 3-4 away from home at Brighton, but at coming home, you do win 3-1, continuing on until the final, where you lose to Chelsea 3-1 in extra time. Overall, the entire season is very spotty. You do get to a cup final, though, so that's pretty nice. Wolves, definitely a heck of a lot spottier. I mean, you got a lot of good wins, Crystal Palace and Burnley, in the first part of the season, but still, I mean, a lot of reds in there. Carabao Cup, 3rd round against Arsenal is where you lose out 0-2. The 4th round, you do draw against West Ham, like I said, 1-all. You do lose out 1-3 in extras, and you're out in the FA Cup. And wow, that is a lot of red right there that you shouldn't be seeing. End of the season, not too bad, but a lot of these matches, maybe not 0-4 against Arsenal, but a lot of these matches you should be picking up and hopefully doing somewhat well. I mean, 0-1 over Manchester United, maybe. 1-all against Brentford. You'd hopefully pick up a couple points here and there on your own as you're doing it. Transfer-wise, they do sell off Hugo Lloris and Tanganga for a couple bucks. They do bring in Donny van de Beek and Rafa from Benfica for 31 million. Newcastle not really selling anyone, bringing in the likes of Jean-Louis Lecca, Tony Weston, Ugarte, and Semedo. We've seen those before. And a big one for Wolves on the outs. Ruben Neves off to Manchester City for 51 million. And the ins, Chiquinho and Fernandes we've seen before. Squad-wise for Tottenham, I'd actually expect a little bit better. I mean, Harry Kane and Kulusevski in the top appearances, but 27 goals for Kane. That's it. I mean, again, It's a pretty nice tally, but overall, in all these tactics that we've been covering, 27 is kind of on the low side of average, or maybe just around average. But 15 for Danyuma and Sun with 14, not too bad. Assist-wise, kind of in the low marks for Kulusevski, Sun, and Kane. Average rating, though, you got a couple in the green. 7.32 for Rafa, nice pickup there, apparently. Kane with 7.24, nah, again, average. Newcastle appearances, obviously, Nick Pope usually gets the most, but 24 goals for Isaac, not too bad of a tally there. 17 for St. Maximin, 16 for Jolinton. Assist-wise, 12, 10, and 8 for St. Maximin, Jolinton, and Trippier. Again, really on the lower marks. 7.60 for Dubravka, damn. Isaac was 7.26, definitely on the lower side for him. And Wolves, appearance-wise, definitely a lot less. Sarabia, Neto, and Collins up there. But goals, 16 for Jimenez is the most, pretty much, except for Kane. But still, I mean, that's a good tally for them. Wolves never really have a good goal tally, unfortunately. Assist-wise, 15 for Sarabia, very well done. Sarabia really doing it. 7 for Jimenez, though, is the only average rating in the green. Data hub-wise, as you can see, Tottenham doing quite decent defensively, very good in attack. Not as high as attacking numbers as we've seen a lot of the times. And if we look at the others, Newcastle, okay defensively, so it's starting to get worse. Good in attack, some still good positive numbers at least. Looks like a baseball diamond right there. And then if you get to Wolves, it's just pretty much overall okay in attack, weak defensively. But, you know, that's what you get. Unfortunately, not a lot of high marks this time around. Not a lot of high attacking numbers like we generally see in these tactics. Premier League stats, we don't really have much that's not on the average mark. I mean, most goals, Tottenham, Newcastle, and Wolves are in there, but 58 is not the greatest of tallies, even if it is the top 8 in the league. 70 is definitely not too bad. You'd like to see them obviously up as much as possible. Liverpool with 88 is kind of on the low side for them as well. Fewest shots, I mean, we don't really have a lot. Most tackles won is the other big one. Newcastle with 868 is a fantastic area there. Doing some defensive work, even though they were kind of mid-tier. But overall, not a whole lot to talk about. Most goals, Isaac and Kane up there. 18 and 20 are definitely fantastic numbers, but we've definitely seen better. And if we look at most assists, Sarabi with 14, definitely a good mark there as well. Higher side of, probably just above the higher side of average. So kind of on the low side of really well done. But St. Maximin with 10, yeah, I mean, we get that a lot. And same with the best player, the most match awards and all that. And there you can see Jolinton, Trippier up there with Newcastle and most tackles won. So the defensive side is there. Trippier, Sarabia, as we usually see. But overall, I mean, honestly, this tactic did well for Tottenham at least. Unfortunately, didn't do so well for the other two. It's not as attacking minded as we've seen before and what seems to work well. But overall, I mean, asymmetric doing its job here. I wondered if we moved it to attack or moved a little bit more in the attacking direction if we would have done a little bit better, especially with Wolves and Newcastle. But that is it for me, Sefian FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.